All right. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Let's roll.
Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is day 17 of the Advent calendar. We got a full house today. We've been pimping it for days, not weeks. Because really, the Advent calendar's only been going for 2.5 weeks. Well, what was that?
Since day one.
Since day one.
Since day one, yeah.
Day 17. We got a big beer, big crowd, big events. I tried to even get some people who haven't been doing videos to come on, but sickness and everything else. We're here at day 17. We got Matt. He finally admitted that he wanted to wear a Cub sweater all this time, so he's wearing one today. He's got his new Glarus, Wisconsin beer. He's just repping both states. It's all good. It's all good. But he's not wearing his I Hate It Ohio shirt. Matt, what's up?
I don't have an I Hate Ohio shirt.
He has an Ohio is the worst state shirt.
Yes.
But it's a cool shirt.
Accurate, yeah.
Other states.
It's a bold take.
Yeah, all about production value.
It is all about production value. Let's go around the horn here, as they say. Obviously, live and in person, we got Matt and me. We're the hosts. I'm JT. Chuggalos Dev, Chuggalo Caterade, Chuggalos Phil. That's the crowd we got today.
Shock is up.
Welcome, everyone. What do you guys think? Let's do you want to do a recap real quick of what has been so far a highlight for you and what has been a low light for you? Matt, if you have any on hand, great. If not, I can lead it off.
Sure.
You think about it.
Yeah.
I think that I guess I should have probably thought about that too before I asked the question. But personally, I think that.
Sorry, Stacy.
Nice.
Probably I don't know that there's been a unique highlight. Personally, really, I don't think there has been. I think that
Great story.
That's a horrible story. Why don't one of you guys go first?
Why do we let him go first?
Because we let you go first. Then you're going to give us the oral history of beer, and none of us will get to talk about anything.
Not true. That's not what I'm.
Actually, I'm going to say that the highlight of the Advent calendar hasn't been the beer; it's been the videos. We've got some exceptional videos. Some, the crowd's been great. The couples have been fun. A lot of the pairings, like Matt and Mike. Steph, your music's excellent. And Phil's education has been excellent.
By the way, Stev, you've got yet another copyright claim on one of your 3 videos from yesterday.
Damn. Oh, really?
Mike had one too, right?
Yeah, he did too.
What's the remedy to that? Maybe
it's fine.
It's
still up.
To be better.
If we ever monetize, we won't get it.
You can't.
It's fine. We're not gonna. I mean, come on. How much money are we gonna get?
Raking it in.
Let me look at this carrot toss. Paid for by the Brew Crew podcast.
Cool.
Hats off to, I got to just call out, hats off to Ryan and his wife. What's his wife's name? Sorry.
Michelle.
Thank
right?
you.
Is that right?
Indeed. You nailed it.
I remembered a name.
Wow. I got to give them kudos for the costumes, the hats.
The costumes are great.
Holy cow. Every day I get a laugh just looking at, and I wonder every day, what are they going to wear today?
Yes.
It's so cool. And they ended up reviewing a lot more than just the beers of the day. They ended up reviewing some cheese. And
they have a seltzer, I think.
Aldi's
seltzer calendar from Aldi.
From Aldi, which is amazing. Aldi's a great
all of those sound
another
really
German
excellency.
We've done seltzers. We've done dollar store cheese.
Yep.
Dollar store cheese.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
All right, Matt, what about
awesome,
you? Sounded like you had something tip of the tongue.
Yeah. So if we're gonna keep it just to beer, it's not. This has been pretty ho hum. Tripping Animals right now coming in with that smoothie sour. It wasn't what last year was. It didn't come out of it. It's like JT and I say sometimes on the mothership. Sometimes you have to take breweries and compare them against each other. 450 is one of them. Toppling Goliath is another one where you take, it's not a community, it's a community onto itself. The Tripping Animals this year did not beat the Morning Colada Coladita. The reason partially was that is they did a coffee sour and they nailed everything randomly that they put in there. This year with the triple tropical popsicle, it wasn't coming out of nowhere, but it just needed a little bit more. Maybe so we can blame that on the collaboration because that collaboration occurred with another brewery called The Answer. A lot of Euro, don't take this in the wrong way, a lot of Euro trash this year. So stuff from over across the pond. And it's interesting how Europeans and especially Western Europeans, their take on beer compared to all the gimmicks and everything that has to go into an American beer to satiate the masses.
That's right. A lot of moat water beer.
Yep.
You know, from the castles of Europe. A lot of
Moat water. Yeah, the water is very different. You can tell. You can taste it. It's very minerally. It's got a real minerally flavor. Sometimes a little bit metallic, almost leaning, and it comes through in the brews that they brew. You can taste it. We've had that on several episodes. You know, where we've kind of had that finish where it's just different. You know, it's not good or bad. It's just different preferential. So
yeah. What about you? What's the highlight for you? I'm just kidding. Gatorade, she had intended on doing videos, but we have, a lot of shit going on. Steph, what you got?
Top one for me was probably Yasquatch.
Oh,
yeah,
like
good. Yasquatch was a smoothie sour.
Definitely wasn't expecting it to be great, but I mean, 450. I know 450 makes really good stuff, so
wow.
I guess I didn't really know what to expect.
What rank did you give that? Do you remember?
Off the oh god,
I'm looking it up right now, Steph. I'll help you out.
4.5, 4.7, no 4.75.
Wow,
possibly.
That's really high for you for a sour for you.
Part of me wanted to put our scores like in our YouTube because I noticed after a couple of days, JT was just copying and pasting, and then Steph pointed out, he goes, "I sure hope there's a podcast in 29, 22." And I go, sure enough, there's. I laughed.
I am copying and pasting, but yeah, we could put our scores in YouTube.
That's a great idea.
I thought about putting it.
I
Yeah.
got it written down on the.
Really hard to just like keep up now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of videos. So if you're Chuggalos keeping up, like I think Chuggalo Mom's keeping up.
Shout out.
I mean, geez, I've shot for sure. That's insane. Do you think? Yeah.
Probably my least favorite would be the Duranki.
Yeah, Duranka.
It just
Oh my gosh, my brother.
Look at these guys. They're just fist bump city over here.
blow it up.
Boom.
But
I don't need to talk now.
I just wasn't.
Yeah, it tasted like
What
Okay.
Moat
I
water. That was the Moat water beer, right?
Triples are
the
my favorite.
triples, yeah.
Steph was 4.75 on Yacht Squatch.
I think my reasoning behind it not being a 5 was there could have been more alcohol.
In the
Hot
Yasquatch.
take. Yeah,
Does alcohol have a taste then?
Oh yeah,
Are you
big
kidding me?
contentious issue.
Oh, that is a
Contentious
great
issue.
debate. John and I had that debate.
Yeah,
John and I had that
had,
debate.
if you want to go back, I don't remember what year that was.
And you just did that on purpose.
Yeah,
I mean, but he
We got
said
into
it
it.
could have more alcohol, so obviously,
I agree.
Alcohol does have a
There's
taste.
a
right?
booziness of this.
maybe not a taste kind of feel possibly
A strength.
scientific. Yeah, the strength of alcohol.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Big contentious issue.
It's
We argued
interesting.
about it.
Yeah, we did. We spent some time on it.
And I planted my
fist
feet
fight
and I was
afterward.
moving. Well, you Chuggalos, Phil, what's your highlights and lowlights?
Well, I mean, my buddy Steph, as usual, nailed it for me. I mean, I think we have a lot of similar tastes, but Yasquatch was huge on my list this year. And I also ranked highly that was a 4.5 for me. I ranked derank 2 something, 2.5 or 2.75, something like that. It was not high on that beer. There was another 4.5 I had earlier, and I think that was also a sour. I can't remember which one it was exactly, but there have been, I think for me, the biggest surprises that I've liked the most. I'm an IPA guy. I'm a traditional IPA guy, double IPA, triple IPA. But this year, the IPAs that I've had have been very, very good, but not spectacular in that they don't stand out as being like the greatest IPAs I've ever had or so much better than the rest of the field. Because I think JT pointed out, there's so many great ones on the market that to differentiate them and say this one is just so much better that it ranks a 5 or whatever. I haven't found that, so it's hard for me to rank what I normally like that high. But what I have been surprised about are the sours. And last year alone, have turned around and started really liking a lot more sours. So I think my top 2 rankings were both sours. We've had some really other interesting beers, though. That Vienna lager we had, 4 or 5 days ago now. That was an outstanding example of a Vienna lager. Was it a 5? No, not close. I mean, it's not like the greatest beer we've had. So, but it was a really, really great example of a Vienna lager that I would drink a lot of. So, and what else? Let's see. I think the triple that we had, I like that one a lot too. The Belgian triple that we just had a couple of days ago.
Trifle.
So,
Trifle.
yeah. So,
Truffle.
so I haven't had anything yet, Matt, that I would say is a 5.0 this year, and I haven't had
I'm with
anything
you.
that's a total stinker, a 2.0 or less, right? Like last year, I remember there was a couple that we just went, oh my gosh, that thing is rock good. I wouldn't
Yeah,
drink
where
that
was
again.
I? Let me see.
But anyway,
Excellent.
that's my taste.
Yeah,
That's my
I mean,
take on
that's
That's
good.
why
take.
we
Those are
agreed,
good takes.
because I knew you would elaborate further.
Yeah, no worries.
Now,
Okay.
Kaysen's reviews have been good as well. Chuggalos this way, Matt that way, just so we remember. Kaysen's been interesting because their reviews, like you say, are like 10 words.
I appreciate
Except for
it.
the few videos they gave. The few videos they gave were pretty good. What? Are
Yes,
they
so I have
not
their review for today's, and just as a preview before we get to it, Jason's is 6 words.
6 words? That's
6
pretty good.
words.
6 words, but their videos were good. They were good videos.
Okay,
I don't know why
hilarious.
they stopped doing them.
She's hilarious. Just different place in life right now.
Yeah. All right, so I say we break open this beer of the day, unless you guys want to drink another beer and talk something else. What do you guys think? Well,
This
I'm
is a
gonna-
big one, so we're going to be able to talk for a hot minute on this one.
All right, yeah. Why don't we? You want to grab me that Thor's hammer? Steph, you got a bottle opener?
You, sir.
All right, and then I got glasses so we can pour it. Matt, you ready? You primed up?
Good to go.
All right.
Wait. I'm not.
No. All right, here we go. You guys all ready?
Right is left.
Gatorade, counting down.
3, 2, 1.
Boom, did it.
Ta-da.
Today's beer, day 17, is Jackie O's Would Ya Honey. This is a wheat wine style ale brewed with honey and aged in, of course, bourbon barrels. This was brewed and bottled in 2022, so there's a good chance that this beer should probably sit a little longer in the cellar, but we're gonna try it. So, Katie, you want to grab 2 of those glasses right
I can
there,
actually smell
and I'll split this up between us.
You don't got it.
all right.
You don't gotta worry about it.
So, Jackie O's. Anybody got initial thoughts while I pour this beer for us?
Chomaloma.
I do.
Chomaloma. All right,
Thank
Still, let's hear it. What do you got?
So
Honey
this-
and beer. What do you
This
think?
beer,
Is that what the yeast is
one of the
eating?
reasons we chose this beer to be here is that it's a very unique beer. It's a beer that defies categorization. It's a wheat wine with honey, which is like a mead, and a wheat style, which is more like a Weissen, but it's brewed and aged in bourbon barrels. So this one's going to be, and it's darker. You can see the dark profile of it, which is more like a porter, not really a stoutish, but it's a porter. And on top of all that, it's
First thought. Go ahead, Still.
12% alcohol.
Smells like
12% alcohol, so it's definitely approaching barley wine territory. So it's going to be high alcohol. So that's why we put it there. It's really interesting. Defies categorization.
Defies
Okay.
categorization. We'll see. It smells
First.
like. Matt, what do you got? You got first thought?
This one coats. You guys were all looking that way, so the Chuggalos saw all of my thoughts as they were nonverbal. The honey comes through the texture, so if you can picture drinking honey, but you cut it with a little bit of water or something that's less viscous, that's what you have on the texture of this beer.
Yeah, for
The,
sure.
the taste is what you would have with like a Jack Daniel's honey,
Yeah.
but without that astringent or that strong alcohol profile.
It does.
This
Yeah.
is
That's
so
very
smooth.
That's a great
description. The nose though is uniquely the hamster section at PetSmart. Smell it.
It's got
Doesn't
some.
it smell like you're at
I'm
PetSmart?
gonna say what I think it smells like, but it's not gonna make sense to pretty much anything.
Oh, it'll make sense. We don't. We make sense
You
here.
know, like the
McDonald's.
soda
We make
stream
sense of nonsense.
concentrate,
The what?
soda stream,
Soda stream syrup.
Yeah.
it's the Coca-Cola syrup,
Ah, the
soda
stream.
Coca-Cola
Okay.
syrup. That's
right? Can you smell that?
totally
I haven't even
yep,
tasted it yet.
Soda stream. If you guys are big fans of Soda stream,
We didn't even have one. We haven't had one
Could
in
be a
years,
sponsor.
but
they are
We need
sponsored.
to
Today's
get
episode is sponsored by Soda Stream.
Sorry, Stacey.
nice.
Buy some
Very
scissors. Carbonate it. Would you, honey? Okay.
So you can really taste the roast in here. The
Yeah.
roasted barley is really
Stop
prevalent.
myself
It's
from
right up
slamming
front and it goes
really
all the way through.
Ooh.
It goes all the way through the finish. The honey is definitely prevalent up front too. It's definitely got a balancing character. I love the way Matt described that. It's a really nice balance and it imparts a really unique flavor. Honey brews differently than any other kind of sugar. So I like that part of it. It's definitely got a lot of richness and depth of character to it, which is all part of the malt that goes in there that creates the 12%. So I'm digging that as well. It's good. It's got a super long finish on it. Real sweet.
Yeah. I think we'll have some disagreements here. I don't know about the super long finish, but I'll at least let me give you the narrative from this beer. This narrative is Wood Ya Honey is a wheat wine style ale brewed with generous amounts of wildflower and meadow foam honey, so two types of honey. This beer was then aged in carefully chosen, not hastily chosen, carefully chosen bourbon barrel for 14 months, elevating the rich caramel and honey character to luscious heights.
Yep.
Notes, I won't even go over the notes because that's more for us to explore ourselves. I won't be told what notes there are in this beer. I will decide what notes I taste.
I take notes.
And if Jackie O's thinks there's different notes, so be it.
I don't taste that last
All
one.
right.
What do they know?
Who's got thoughts? Who wants to jump in with their thoughts? Stev's got strong thoughts.
Deb's trying not to.
He's
judge
trying
it.
not
I'm
to
trying
slam
not
it.
to slam it.
Bourbon,
I think
bourbon,
it's awesome.
bourbon aged. You can taste that, across the whole spectrum of the flavor profile and
Big words.
the roast and
You can taste the roast.
We are so winning Scrabble.
Mhm.
I want to spill on.
We're doing Team Scrabble.
and you know what? I mean, they
America.
mentioned raisin in here. Raisin's really interesting.
the notes.
I did.
I don't
Well,
taste that at
I
all.
only
Yeah.
read it to see if I agreed with what they were saying, and the
Yeah.
raisin's interesting. I tasted a little bit on the finish. What raisin typically is that's a characteristic of wine a lot of times, where when the grape actually is harvested too late or late in the harvest, the grapes will shrivel a little bit, and you'll get a higher sugar content in the grapes, and which will translate into a higher alcohol content. And that translates into a bit of a raisiny taste in there. I taste that in the finish. I actually taste that. I was tasting something, and then they said raisin. I was like, oh yeah, that
That's
makes
tainted. Tainted.
It's ruined it.
anyway.
Tainted.
I like this. I like this a lot. I think this is really
I
nice.
like this too.
Wow.
Yep.
Give your thoughts.
It's
Love react. Sorry.
Love emoji. Go ahead.
anytime I see a dark beer, I'm immediately turned off.
Right.
I don't like porters or stouts.
Wow.
Anything heavy. I definitely don't like coffee anything. So I didn't think I was gonna like this at all,
Yeah.
but I really, really, really like this.
Wow.
Describe what
I,
you taste.
I
Great.
can't taste the raisin. I do taste what tastes like a burned something, but I
Roasted.
think it's the aged.
It's roasted.
It's not bad though. It's
Yeah.
super light, and I don't taste the caramel that I
Mm.
see in the description. I don't know. It's sweet.
Yeah, it's sweet.
You can definitely tell it's been aged in gin or in barrels.
Bourbon, yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know what kind of.
It's all good.
Barrel it would
Yeah,
be.
just grab the
But
taste
a
gin. You
barrel.
taste gin. You taste gin. It's
Yep.
all good. It's your palate.
No, I like gin.
Chewing on a pine.
Gin sucks, by the way.
Mhm.
Fuck gin.
That's a
Yes.
No, it's
wrong take.
It's
but
Oh, yeah,
you
here's my
taste
take.
the
Fuck
bourbon
gin.
whiskey.
Yeah.
It's got
Whoa.
just not
No.
not overpowering.
Fact.
though, I don't think.
No,
You-
not at all.
disrespectfully disagree.
I put it on Twitter and there was no- No, like this is disinformation.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's right.
And honey.
Matt was totally right
Yeah.
on that. I think.
When he said that, I hadn't even tasted
What
it
was
yet.
he right about?
When he said Jack Daniels.
Honey Jack Daniels.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
yeah. That was an interesting observation.
Dead on without all the alcohol, right? With
Right.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
So the
Because
Jim
alcohol
Beam
has a
honey.
taste.
Or alcohol
makes me
flavor, yeah.
sick. I don't.
There we go.
The Jim Beam honey kind of makes me sick.
Did she
I don't
just
know
get me
why
to
I
admit that on
I
the air?
did.
Uh-oh.
You sure did.
God, you're my
So-
fella.
Did you see it?
So one of my
See it.
Go ahead, man. You just
one of the
talk.
honey beers that
Roll.
people in the Chuggalos are going to be most familiar with is called Kugel's Honey Weiss, and that's a complete gimmick. And I'll explain to you how it's a gimmick. So in 10,000 gallons of beer, they put in 5 gallons of honey. So if you ever tell somebody, and the brewmasters will tell you this if you do the Kugel's tour in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, that if you can taste the honey, you're lying. It's in there as a gimmick. The honey in here is
I like
not a
that.
gimmick.
Psych.
Yeah, the honey in here is not a gimmick. It's both comes through in the texture and the taste. The one thing that I leave with from this beer, as I'm trying to warm it up to see if I get any more adjuncts, is it's got a marzipan characteristic to it. Not like a fondant, because a fondant has a little more, and I know there's a little bit of difference, but like the almond extract, like if you're gonna make like
Yeah.
marzipan cookies. That's completely what I get here, like the slight honeycomb, like that. Off the top rope, I'm gonna go at this one quick. So the alcohol isn't there. The viscous, the body, I attribute all to the honey. The interesting thing is they make this annually. So like just a little bit of research, like this is going to be put on my radar. And like JT was saying, maybe this is a beer that you should sit on. So if you see it in the wild, pick it up. I'm going to give this a 4.75. And much like last year's Decadence, this is a highlight for me. This is going to be a beer that I remember, and I'm going to continue to pick up. Again, they do have a variant that they make this explicitly with nuts that I would like even to try more because of my both of my fascination and desire to have nuts in or around my mouth.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
You like to have
4.75.
nuts.
Well,
You like-
Five
no,
Guys
you
nuts.
like to have.
4.75
He said he likes to have nuts in his mouth.
Right. Yeah.
in
he-
or around my
He
mouth.
said that.
He just said that.
Yeah, he said.
4.75.
Yeah, he was clear.
On film.
Characteristic from that.
I will. I'll go next since
Please.
we'll knock the
Go, JT.
Brew Crew hosts out.
Oh, geez.
I concur with a lot of what Matt said.
Mhm.
I'm less convinced about the flavor of honey than I am the impact of the honey on the beer than Matt is. But I think that this beer is almost unreasonably balanced for its what it is. By unreasonable, that's a compliment. Like this beer does not show its. I'm glad that my review will not be listened to.
I wasn't ignoring.
Go. Keep
No,
going.
I'm kidding. It's all good. I think this beer, it does not have an alcohol profile, the boozy profile that I described before. As a flavor, it's totally hidden in at 12%. I mean, you should definitely feel the strength of this beer, but you don't. And peekaboo.
Ah,
Yeah, I think this beer needs to be aged a little. I have actually only one contradiction to the majority of the crowd here, and that's the barrel aged process that this beer. I think it took more wood than anything else. I actually think wood in this beer. I think it's a very, and that's fine. I actually like that flavor. I
That's
think
great.
that flavor is actually very good.
That's awesome.
And I wouldn't even mind seeing a barrel-aged beer that's just aged in barrels that
Yeah,
haven't been
just
used
a
for
barrel.
anything else yet.
That's what I was trying to
Because
say, that I
that-
couldn't pinpoint an alcohol, but I could pinpoint the barrel.
Yep.
Yeah, it has a barrel flavor. I think it's excellent. It actually is the star of this
Yeah.
beer is the woodiness of this beer. I agree that this is going to be one of the high points, and I think that it's a high point because it has several
booze.
flavors that make appearances in a way that you can pinpoint them. Even for novice drinkers, I think that you could drink this and be like, there's at least 3 things going on here.
There's
Whereas, like, you know,
Oh
when
my
you
gosh.
start on beer, you're like, this is beer flavored beer. Like everything tastes the same. This beer, even for someone who's uninitiated, I think has a lot of profiles that you can pinpoint. And wood is the star of this beer. I really, really think that they should add that as part of their marketing because they've done it better than I've had before. Would you? Oh yeah, you're right. Would you, honey?
I don't think
Well,
I
maybe
would
I'm
Would
missing
ya?
it here.
Would you? It's there
I
on purpose.
would.
Yeah.
I think honey is a
I think.
wonderful thing to eat, and I don't taste the flavor of honey, but I do taste the sweetness. This beer is a 4.75 for sure,
Wow.
and I think the wood is the highlight.
Wow.
JT, great call.
Thanks.
Great call on the wood. That's totally right on. Totally right on. I'm gonna give this, can I go off the top rope right
Please.
now?
You're allowed to go off the top,
Okay.
bro.
5.0. Whoop.
Please.
Wow.
Oh,
Still
Uh-oh.
suck.
Cubs still.
What does that say? Well,
Cubs
it's
still
no.
suck.
Don't say the Cubs still. So you can't see
That's
Cubs in
illegal.
there. You can't see Cubs in there. You can just see
it was
still
covered.
sucks. It was covered by the new Claris. So basically, it looks like new Claris still sucks.
Nuclear still sucks. Maybe that's what it was.
I like that, but Matt is wearing a Cub sweater, so thanks for showing up to the party in the right attire.
You got
It
the dress
matches
code.
the room.
Matt,
The dress code.
I just posted my first 5.0 for the year. That's
Yeah,
that's
buddy.
5.0.
5.0 from Scott. I'm sure you have
that's about as good.
more thoughts.
A 12% effort that you don't taste the alcohol on,
Mhm.
or the alcohol is, sorry, I shouldn't say that. The alcohol is balanced.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
it sounds like someone tastes alcohol.
No, my daughter, my beautiful, wonderful daughter that I love so much.
Aw.
She actually made me admit it on the air. But oh, look at that! That is a great picture. I remember the picture was taken.
I was
Hammered.
Hawaii. Oh,
Hell
yeah, he
yeah.
was hammered. You want to talk about
There was
standing
like
upright.
all of the
Sorry.
not all of them, but the two married in. So it was your brother. It was Katie's brother, buddy.
Yeah,
And so
right.
her older brother's wife spoke, and I was like, well, I have
Oh,
to speak
shut up.
now because I'm married in.
Mhm.
That was a bad idea. I was too drunk.
I don't even remember.
Hey,
what you said.
I was too drunk. Yeah, I was
Thanks for having me.
I'm married into this family.
This family
Yeah,
is
good luck.
mean, and that's it. Look at that. There it is.
Oh,
All I
Oh,
can
yeah.
say is this.
inebriation station.
I was right there with John, and I thought John did a fine job because I agreed 100% with him. It is nuts.
That's weird because my
Yeah.
whole speech was about how Chuggalos Phil is wrong about alcohol having a
Ah.
flavor.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
And
admitted
he- but
it.
he
He's
can
just-
yeah. During this
Can
time.
you
Just
just
backtrack so
can you
hard.
just let it go, John? Can you just give it up and let it go?
I've let it go.
It's a beautifully balanced.
It is.
It's incredibly beautifully. It's exceptionally balanced. The alcohol, the hops, the sweetness, the honey, the barrel age, the wood, the roasted malt, which is like stout like or port, at least porter like, right? It's all blended perfectly in flavor so that you don't miss any of the flavors.
Portland.
It is a great example of a beer. I love this beer. I'm giving it a 5.0. Boom.
Boom.
Portmanteau.
Dropping
What
the
is that?
microphone. Thank you.
The people's elbow.
Now, Steph.
That's
We got two more scores. Two more scores to go. 2 scores and 1 advent calendar to go.
There's no way I can articulate how well this beer is.
Well, that's good.
How-
Gatorade, you go.
Boom.
Because
There it is.
Steph
It's my
can't articulate.
I can't score this.
I can't.
I can't score this.
Unscorable.
Unscoreable.
We'll
That was
make
me
it
in
quick.
high school.
This is a
Unscorable.
5.
Ooh, that was quick.
This is boom. 5. FIVE.
Oh my
So-
gosh. Yeah. My brother, once again,
Explode.
Right.
Dang.
Reason being,
bring it.
everything that everyone has already said, I aired that sentiment.
You can repeat it. It's okay.
This is like such a fascinating beer to me because of the fact that like the process of making honey is so like micro ecosystem and like scientific and shit. And the fact that they make this every year, like the terroir of honey, if you will, would like greatly affect. I think would greatly affect the flavor of this beer.
Yeah.
Every year. So
Oh, yeah.
even if they get it from the same place, even if it's the same bees, all that kind of shit. Like, I don't know. I just this is something I'm going to find every year now because of that.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they are using local honey because they're out of Athens.
'Cause-
If it will taste different to somebody else.
Boom, honey. But
Honey,
So
that's the
meadow
secret
foam
ingredient
is-
of this one, and the barrel aged. Yeah.
But and then I also one slight thing I have an issue with every beer that says aged in bourbon barrels, include what fucking bourbon.
Right. Yeah.
What barrel of bourbon it came from, please.
Yeah. Please.
I
was
Not
thinking
because I'm
about the
smart
same
enough to know the difference between the flavors of bourbon,
thing.
but
No, but it
just like
matters.
it.
But you're
Stan,
so.
it was carefully chosen bourbon barrels.
Carefully-
Carefully chosen.
I don't
Carefully
what?
chosen.
Yeah, out of a pile of garbage
Right.
barrels that
Yeah.
were put out to dry
Come
by
on,
some
spill it. Give it.
distillery.
Spill it out. Yeah, I agree with that. I
You have
think
all
there's
this
lots of
real
different-
estate.
Like I think some local breweries who do this, Branch and Bone, I think being one of them, have teamed with Edmund Williams, and they state so.
Yeah.
When they.
They were
Put out
giving
their
away bourbon, like barrels that they're like,
Oh, they were.
we're
You're
done
right.
with these.
Yeah.
If someone wants them,
Hey, you want these barrels, guys? You can age some shit in them.
it's a barrel.
John,
Why not?
a year and a half ago, when I first moved to Ohio, John turned me on to, I don't know, dozens and dozens of different beers, but one of them was, the very first one was a bourbon barrel aged beer that I absolutely didn't think I was going to like, and I absolutely fell in love with right away. What, do you remember what the name of that was?
Yeah, it was Bastard. Something,
Matt
one of the
Wolfong.
Bastard series ones.
Matt Wolfong brought it to
Yeah,
us.
Matt
Arrogant,
Wolfong.
arrogant bastard.
Arrogant bastard.
Arrogant Bastard. No,
No.
that's
That's
the
a
stone
stone.
beer. I had
I'll
that.
tell you in a second. We looked this up a little while ago.
No, it was Bastard. It was
Old
something.
dirty bastard.
Old
Dirty-
Dirty Bastard.
Old Dirty Bastard. Thank you. That's
No,
That's a rapper.
it's a rapper.
I think
Oh.
it's a beer though. Old bastard at least.
It was oh, you know what?
Arrogant
It was
Chuggalos, here's a picture of Chuggalos Phil's house.
or
Backwoods.
Foster, not Foster,
Backwoods.
Founders.
There's Backwoods right there.
Founders.
There's where Phil lives, everyone. Doxed him.
Excellent.
Got
beer. There it is. That's it right there. That's it. They barrel aged in that
in that whole house.
in that shack.
You know what? I could go live in that house. I could retire and go live in that house. No, the reason I bring this up is because I didn't think I would ever, again, it was another preconception that I had coming into the beautiful Brew Group podcast, opening my mind to lots of different things.
We are beautiful.
You
It's
gotta
beautiful.
change the name.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Boom. So, but I fell in love with barrel aged beers, and this Wood Ya Honey to me just takes it to the next level.
Excellent.
It's
All right.
very good.
Before we get to Catorade's review and score,
Katie,
what does your bandana say? If you were
It's
to
a Seagram's bandana.
I thought it was
Seagram's, all right,
Seagram's.
all right.
I didn't want to assume. It looks
Is that
stupid.
bothering you?
No, I just wanted to know because
It's going the other
he's
way.
got a primo selection. Like if Matt was on MTV Cribs, they would spend at least a third of the
He's got a
episode in
bandana
his
rack.
bandana collection. Yeah.
I've literally never seen Matt without a bandana.
You've never? Oh, really?
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Except Halloween parties.
Yeah, because it's not part of his
Part of
costume.
the
Right.
concept.
I know.
I'm a damn.
Look at that. Your
Oh.
reputation precedes you.
In person. In person.
In person.
Really?
All right.
I no, come on. I
Yeah.
don't think.
It's just
No.
a Matt-ism. It's
Matt's,
okay.
is Matt screen sharing a still image of himself?
It's part of the.
No.
Oh, okay. No, it's
No,
not.
he's-
It's not present anymore. We could hear you, but you were
All right.
you were still.
Yeah.
so Katie, your take.
So again, I'm not big on heavy, dark beers. And to me, this is heavy and dark, but this is absolutely incredible.
Insane.
And you can taste the super sweet honey up front, and then that barrel age like halfway through on the sides, and then that alcohol taste sits on the back. I'm like not it.
And the roast, you said you tasted the kind of the burnt roasted
Yeah.
flavor. Yep.
That sits on the back. And some I don't think I could actually finish an entire bottle of this by myself. I feel my
Oh, do it.
ready.
I want to see that.
I
Yeah, me too, Matt.
I would
I
like,
want more.
I would like
Actually,
my
I want
wife
more.
to drink an entire bottle or two of 12%.
I'd be on the
Booze
floor.
because she, you know, she's pretty much, that makes the night different. Just turns the whole day into turns the day into a party.
All right, TMI going on here, Matt.
Hey, man, we're all married.
My children watch this.
Hey, man.
By
Hey,
that,
man.
you mean
There's
your
a.
doodle dogs?
Hey, man. There's
They
a
are-
beer down
They are
here.
good dogs.
They are good dogs.
Good dogs.
I'm not saying anything about their behavior. I'm saying that they.
My wife doesn't
Married
drink at all, so I can't say that.
This is, I'll say this, a giftable beer. I think this is a perfect.
Thanks, Steph.
That would be a good
So pick
beer.
some of this up and have it.
Phil moves to Ohio. Phil joins the BCP family. Phil has AleSmith Decadence. What's the last one?
Spill, stab, high five. Multiple times. Actually, we
It's
knuckled. We
fist bump. Yeah.
we fist bumped.
Losing
Technically
losing
speaking,
mind.
just I'm saying.
Still
Okay.
belongs in Ohio.
That was a quick meme generation.
That's awesome.
That was
That
very
was excellent
impressive,
work.
Matt.
Excellent
That was
work.
very impressive.
This I think we should keep cellared.
We should get some to
Give
celebrate,
as
yeah.
gifts
That's a
Yes.
good
to
idea.
people
I like beer.
yeah, they like beer. Because if we received this, and Matt, this is so much better warmed up. Like
Yes.
as stat for 15
Wow,
or 20
I drank mine
minutes.
too fast. Can I taste
Oh
yours?
yes. There's so
You're-
much more flavor in it as you let it sit and warm a
You're-
little.
you're- So like barley wines
Beer is
and
just like an
and
extra-
stouts and porters, you're not supposed to drink below 44 degrees.
That's
So
right.
like this, as like you warm up and it's in your hand,
Mhm.
you taste more of what the brewer intended it to be. There's types of beers that are meant to be drank ice cold because nothing comes out in the flavors, but like porters and stouts and everything like that that
Yes.
have design subtleties at 44 degrees, they start coming out a little bit more. Well,
Yep.
and that's difficult for me because again, I like all of my beer ice cold, 29 to 36. It's tough for me to be patient enough. Like
Right.
the rum's all gone. Like I'm Johnny Depp over here, but
True.
again, you get more of the adjuncts and those brewer interpretations that are supposed to come out when it gets warmer.
Matt stood on. That's
Did you
right.
taste the difference with it being warmer or no? I feel like I have.
This is still
this
like
is my
alcohol.
first sip.
I still,
Maybe
yeah,
it's
the
just
alcohol
coated.
comes out more. The alcohol comes
I will say this.
There's a bit of floaties.
Oh, anything that has this high of alcohol content needs to be laid down longer. So if this was truly brewed in 2022, kind of like the lambic that we talked about.
No, it was brewed in, it was
can't- there's
aged
no
for
way.
14 months or whatever.
It was
Mhm.
bottled in.
So,
This
21.
year.
but
Bottled
because
this year, yeah.
because of the alcohol content, it needs to lay down longer. So the fact that it tastes great right now is an amazing portent of things to come. It's an amazing statement about where it's going to go when it finally settles into its final state of fermentation, which is going to be amazing.
Mhm.
It's going to be even more blended, even more subtle, even more rounded shoulders kind of on it, if you will. It's going to be amazing. So you give this thing a year, 2 years, and it's going to be it's going to be something spectacular.
I think we'll go pick some.
And
up
that will-
do
that will
for
make
next
it-
year.
I am
For
definitely.
next year.
You guys want to put it in my cellar? I'm happy.
I got my own cellar, bro.
Yeah, take it easy.
Come
No,
on,
you
dude.
don't.
Take it easy.
Who do you think I am?
Yeah, come on.
You got a refrigerator in a bar.
No.
I
you
got
cellar in our
I
basement.
got a whole basement, dude. I got a whole basement. I got a dark closet.
Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Phil likes to, he's just
Round
like to
two.
project something onto me that's like this junior person that doesn't know anything.
That's not true.
I have a cellar. Matt has an incredible cellar. We have similar cellars. But Phil's got the cellar apparently.
No.
He has an awesome
I
cellar.
gotta keep all my beers.
But we
Phil's
also
house.
have an awesome cellar.
He does have an awesome cellar.
We have some really cool things in our cellar.
I
that we should
actually store
probably
some
open
stuff
up.
in your cellar, so I
I
should
have
say.
the under part of my
Shouldn't.
stairs.
That's
That works,
cellar,
right?
as
That's
long
a
as
If you watch the episode that Steb and I did,
In my basement.
that room is amazing.
That basement's so cool.
That you could age beer in that room.
What
You could
room
just
were you
fill
guys
the room
in?
with beer and age.
That's my
it.
basement.
It'll taste like wood.
It's like
Oh,
the
was that
finished
your
part of
basement?
our basement. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It looked
Matt's
like
got
it looked like
something
it was
on.
like
He's
a
working
main,
on something
it looked like it
himself.
was a main entry.
That whole
entry.
area is like just
It's all wood
that
panel.
like knotty pine kind of.
Yeah, he's got
Inlet.
wood panel shelves and stuff. Yeah.
KNOTT. Perv.
Naughty Pine. Ooh, that sounds like it tastes good.
Get some.
Yeah, so what was your numeric score there?
Thank you.
I don't think we've had a numeric score from Gatorade since Butt Chug Shorts.
No, I haven't been on air with you.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Boom.
Damn.
Bring it back.
JT declares he has a cellar. Phil and friends
React to the
React to the declaration. Look out. Thank you for including it. Notice that it has
Your contemporaries.
my president or Reagan in there.
Boom.
Yeah, my contemporary. Go after yourself, buddy. He is not my contemporary. My contemporary, my ass. I got you. I got you.
Oh, you're contemporary.
I got
I
you.
like that. That's a good. That's
I got you, Matt.
subtle burn.
That's okay. You mess with Uncle Scott, he
All right.
messes with you worse. All right.
You got any
Katie?
more comments or you
No,
score?
I'm teetering, but it's
You're
a
teetering?
for me because
Here we
if
go.
you offered this to me, I would gladly take the entire bottle for myself and not share with you.
Excellent. Yeah.
So I'll do 475.
475 for
I-
Gatorade.
I
That's
feel
the
like-
highest dark beer score she's ever
Yeah.
given.
Oh yeah. My dark
Boom.
beers usually stay below a 3 easily.
Mhm.
I usually
yeah.
can't even
That's a
like
shame.
She doesn't
sip
like
them.
Isn't that something? So
I'm gonna order some stuff from Burial and we're gonna fix that.
I'm
Burial's
saying,
excellent.
I'm saying this not to say that I'm right. I'm saying, does this not defy categorization? It's not a porter. It's not a stout.
It's
It's not a mead.
many
that?
things.
It's not a bourbon aged, typical bourbon aged beer.
I think
This
it falls
is-
into the barrel aged
It-
category. I think you could categorize
I think barrel aged.
it does
is a
defy a lot of
category.
the.
It's way
typical,
different.
But I don't think
It's barrel aged in the wood. I mean, it imparts an incredible profile to it, but it's not like that stuff that we had before, bro. I mean, it's just not. It's not like anything else I've tried. It's so unique. It's so different. And they do it so well that, I gotta say, I'll say it to all my fellow Chuggalos out there too. A few
With the
days
hummus
ago,
on it.
we had a Jackie O's, right? And I was
right.
totally underwhelmed. I was not at all. I was like, wow, that was not really a great beer. And of course, the first thing that went through my mind is, crap. I put this Would You Honey as the pinnacle point of focus for us for day 17. I wonder if that's going to be equally, unimpressive. So I was kind of worried about that. I was worried about it.
Right.
But now that I've tasted it, it's a
I can tell.
completely different. I know I told you on this already, but anyway,
Oh no, I was.
I mean,
Missed it.
it's a completely special, different thing, and nobody else has anything like it.
Nobody else.
I don't want to even
That's
finish this
interesting.
because
You wanna
it's
say
gonna go
Savor
away.
it, yeah, it's like.
It's so damn good. I know. I'm just
We
savoring
will be
it.
going to get more of this today.
Matt, you,
To bring to Chicago.
well, you said
And
already.
celebrate.
Matt, Matt had the initial take on it, and it was dead on. It was dead on.
Well, different strokes for different folks, though. I think we attacked this beer from a bunch of different ways. Like, if this is this year's Decadence, the question I posed to you, this head-to-head in Decadence, do we have a disagreement? Is there a preference in the room that would take one over the other?
Wow.
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I give this beer a 4.75, and I give Decadence a 5. I think, honestly, I'm still a kind of internally obsessing about the wood flavor of this beer. Would I choose it over Decadence? I remember tasting Decadence and knowing it was a 5 immediately.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think probably, even though I don't remember,
Me too.
I would probably choose Decadence because of how quickly I had made that decision. But I obviously remember this beer better because I had it right now. Yeah. So what about you, Matt?
100% on Decadence first on this one, because Decadence was beautiful in its simplicity and just what it offered. This, like you said, you're talking about the wood, I'm talking about the honey. There's other conversation points where Decadence, all of us just we locked eyes, and it was like, the first time that you got your driver's license and you're driving your the parents shaggin' wagon or something like that. It's just like that freedom.
Especially for
That that we paired it with that Wild Ohio too, which even built it up a little bit more. So
I was such a sucker.
That was-
So what
oh
was
my
the
God.
flavor of the
That's
decadence?
was a
I don't
suck.
know what, I wasn't part of decadence.
That was another aged stout.
It was.
Well, that was a stout.
no, that was a barley wine.
Barley wine. It was a barley
But they
wine.
forgot about it.
They forgot it was a 2011.
They just had it,
Oh, so it was like
and they
super
just like
aged.
lost it in there.
That was a 10-year-old
That was
freaking
barrel?
laid
It was
down beer.
10-year-old.
And think about that.
Nothing
How
like that
good
will ever
was
happen
that?
again.
Think about how good was that after 10 years. So if you want to compare Would You Honey to Decadence,
Yeah, we
you got to
go.
leave this for another 9 years.
Well,
And you know what?
2022.
And guess what? This thing is going to age. Well, I would agree with you. If you're just head to head, I would go with Decadence. It's a 5.0 for me versus a 5.0 for me, but I think Decadence wins out. However, you lay this thing down for 3,
10
4,
years.
5, 10 more years, it's going to become
It'll be like that.
unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable. That's my take.
That is his take.
Cool.
Who else?
We still have a few Goose Islands downstairs. That
I got a 2020 regular, and I got a 2021 like special one. And we'll age them for a little while.
I just messaged Sarah and our fine folks down at the Barrel House to see if they have any more Wood You Honeys.
Are they going to join in the Skype? We can get as many people as we want in here.
No, I just messaged them. The
Casey,
funny thing,
Ricky, Orion, and Michelle.
I actually that's an amazing segue. Let's go over Kaysen's reviews.
Let's go.
So-
over to you, everyone.
Jason of Kaysen and Jason fame goes, it tastes like a port wine, so a 2.75. And I apologize, I'm blurry.
No offense.
And Kate,
Words, Jason. Sorry.
yeah, Kate, always the comedian, goes, I don't think it tastes like that at all. It was undrinkable for me. I'll give it a 0.5. Not my jam,
Point
but
five.
at least I had nachos for supper, so that saved the day.
Definitely wash this beer down with some nachos.
So you got some nachos going on.
100%.
That works.
One person can't steal all the loaded nachos.
And just because we were talking about them, I just want you guys all to take in their glory.
They
This
are
was from
glorious.
yesterday's beer. This was not from the Wood You Honey.
Shirt is glorious.
Glorious.
That's the lambic.
Everything but the brewer's shirt.
That was the lambic. They didn't send me a picture for and
Yeah.
That's a great picture.
Lambic.
stop
Wood You
sharing.
Honey.
Boom.
Day 17.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. What do we have any indication of Mikey or Ryan?
Both of them were celebrating separate Christmases at noon central time, which we can all agree is God's time zone. Fuck the Eastern time zone. Let's be honest. Amen.
I
Amen
am
and amen.
No hot takes.
I have a hot take. I am much more accommodating to the Eastern time zone than the Pacific time zone, which is so stupid. It fucks the whole country up on every sport because the games on the West Coast don't start till midnight. And when you live in California and you wake up and
It's
the
wild.
football games start at 10 a.m., get the fuck out of here.
No way.
10 a.m. bullshit. 10
Mhm.
a.m. I mean, that's like you're already basically just got done with breakfast at that point.
In California.
You gotta have your beer.
Yeah.
Beer and
And-
chips and salsa at 10 a.m.
I had a
Can't do
client.
that.
I had a client that I was in Ohio. I was in Hawaii for
Singing
about
Watch the World Cup here.
10 months, and I was flying back and forth. And while I was in
I don't know anything
Ohio,
about soccer.
I was.
Yeah.
We would watch football, and we'd have to get up at the butt crack of dawn to watch football. In Hawaii, we'd go down and we'd get a locomoco, which is a crazy ass thing. I can't remember what the hell was on
450
it.
make that?
What's that?
It's 450
With the
make that?
450.
No, 450 doesn't
sound.
make that. We would drink a
XXXL.
lot of beer with the locomoco. The locomoco was kind of like the Hawaiian version of the hangover cure. But it was like a breakfast. It was a breakfast with rice and gravy and all kinds of shit thrown in there. But man, we would have to get up early to watch football. So everything from a Hawaiian perspective, everything was crazy. It was like, man, y'all are waking up way too early. But
Yeah. No. That's what I don't like about California. It's too early. But crack of dawn.
crack it
draw
up or draw
25.
25.
Oh,
Chilling
nice.
out with my Chuggalos.
That's
I
what's
like
up.
that
We
one.
could probably keep the
The
new
meats are excellent.
Dude, how are you doing this so quickly? That's amazing.
Crack of dawn.
But crack of dawn.
Yeah, just making magic happen. That's why, you know, JT and I are going to have a long discussion, so we're going to bring you guys in on this. We need to upgrade the technological capabilities that we do. So this is, believe it or not, Chuggalos, this is a complete shoestring budget. So we make it work, and it's a lot of fun. But like with Mikey doing like OBS and stuff again, I remember our first chug along that Stev was a part of completely failed. The second one went amazingly because we did like an hour prep time on the OBS and stuff like that. But that's the goal going forward, is to, you know, try to figure out the technology, and I'll do that during my siesta or whatever. But I want separate audio channels and stuff like that. We'll make it good.
I've been thinking about that as well. We're gonna upgrade tech.
Reach out to
Upgrade
Joe
tech.
Rogan.
And we're gonna have live memes, live memings,
I said live meat.
live
Again,
meme and memes.
The goal is to hire Stev as our producer.
Yeah, when you know, like when Joe Rogan
Step.
shouts over to Jamie and it's like, Jamie, pull this
It's
up.
gonna be that's gonna be Stev.
Come on, dude, get this going.
Can
You
I
should.
take a second to give an out shout to our friend Dave Richards? Though?
Yeah,
He
sure.
brought up mead, and
Yeah.
he brews his own beers. And he just did we were at their house Thursday, and he did a passion fruit mead, right? Or was it
Passion
ale?
fruit meat. Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Meat.
And then he did a holiday
We
one.
didn't do it. We just tasted it.
He did a holiday one that was also incredible.
What was his holiday brew?
I didn't ask.
Well, so he
Santa flavored.
brought a packaged holiday, you know, brew at home kit, but took all the bullshit spices out,
Mhm.
and it wound up being like a nice, darker ale
Mhm. But every
without the
time,
coriander and all that bullshit that they put in
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
beers.
every time we see him, he's brewed something new and insane and incredible,
Yeah.
and is so eager to share.
Wow.
And it's always been good. So hopefully we'll have him on.
Despite my lack of planning on most things, I have a list of dates that Matt won't be available, and I've tried to get him
Once
to
again, asking for your
appreciate Dave Richard. Thank you. Bernie Sanders says,
thank you, Dave.
once again, I'm asking you to appreciate Dave Richard.
Oh, man.
Good house shop there.
It is.
I asked him if he'd do the podcast. He seemed not interested.
He did seem interested.
He was. I have a
Fight,
list of
fight.
dates that I know Matt won't be available that I'm trying to plan for, even though I never don't plan for much.
Oh, I would love to get into
And
it with him.
Dave Richard
love
is
to.
amazing.
You know, this
Fight
whole
about
thing
it.
has inspired me to start brewing again, actually.
Have you done it?
I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it since we moved here.
Well, we have a
but
cellar if you want to brew and.
Yeah, we have a cellar.
I know there's the
Matt has
superior
one.
cellar.
kid.
We have a superior cellar here, right in this house, so
Yes.
Superior.
it is superior, obviously. So,
We got a whole basement in the garage.
well, look, see?
Oh, that's a good place
I
to
could,
cellar.
I actually forgot about the boiler room, which
Yeah.
would be a great cellar,
It's
so.
all dark.
The murder room.
It's the murder room that's got rubble in it and like
Oh, yeah.
bones and
Natty
stuff
light
in it.
cans and a single flip flop and a.
There's- Yeah,
springs.
there's nothing that
Murders.
says good brewed beer like a spent dirty mattress
Like
and,
tennis.
and,
Dirty. It's not a
And
dirty.
asbestos.
and bones, cement, rubble, and and a spent flip
The
flop.
whole mattress is
It's
decomposed.
melted, yeah.
A single.
Yeah.
We will be cleaning that up this year.
You guys
God knows what
make
was
me
down
want to
there.
brew again.
Oh, look, you guys make me want to brew again. Look. Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you for portraying me for my age. Right? I appreciate that so little. Thank you very little.
That is excellent. I mean, what else you guys want to keep going, drink some more beer? I'll put some beer.
Hell
out.
yes.
Or you want to call it?
I don't know.
So I have a question that's advent calendar related.
Yes.
What are we looking forward to? I sent the list over. If you guys need some time, I can give you guys some time to look. So we have Math in Public 7 days left after today. Seven different beers. So we have a black IPA, sour cuvee, IPA, which is weird because everything has to be a gimmick these days. That's another thing I want you guys to ruminate on as I go through this list. Is hazy? Don't respond now. Ruminate on it. We'll let that simmer. Is hazy overused? Ruminate. A New England IPA, a Goes, another New England IPA, and a pastry stout closes us out on Christmas Eve on the 24th. So again, a black IPA, sour cuvee, 2 Niepas, an IPA, a Goes, and a pastry stout.
Wow.
Is there something that jumps out? Like obviously there's 2 Niepas, so you got to have them, maybe have them side by side. Phil has thoughts.
So a Goes, what we know about Goes is that a Goes is a form of lambic. It's really a lambic. As I said earlier, I think in yesterday's day 16's podcast was that a Goes basically takes a 1-year lambic and blends it with a 2 to 3 year lambic, so that you get some natural carbonation that happens with the tertiary fermentation in the bottle. But it's basically a lambic. So a Goes is a lambic, which is going to be a sour. Other than that, we got some gimmicky beers, but we ended on the last day, on Christmas Eve day, with a pastry stout, which was more meant to be a kind of a sweeter dessert kind of offering. So that's it. That's my thoughts.
I agree with a lot except the gimmicky part. I don't think there's many gimmick beers coming up. I think there's a lot of straightaway beers. The black IPA is interesting because we've had 1 or 2 on the main podcast, and they were good. I remember them being good. Obviously, the overabundance of New Englands is good for me because I like them. Might be bad for people who don't. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the last day.
The last day. Closing
the pastry stout.
Yeah.
The pastry stout. Goes as a lambic. Tertiary fermentation. Question mark.
There you go. I don't know who those people are on there.
I like that.
Oh,
There it is.
Lord.
There it is.
That was frightening.
Perfect.
That was scary right there.
Perfect.
Let me put the new glares back on
Tertiary
there.
At least
fermentation.
that has pretty teeth.
Did you describe what tertiary fermentation?
Thank you.
I think I did in a podcast about 8 days ago.
I remember.
So we want to
Tertiary.
go to 8 days ago.
That's a science word.
All right. What else? What are you looking forward
I'm
to?
looking forward to the cuvee.
The cuvee. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the name. I like the word.
It has
Cuvee.
potential.
Sounds like a fun word to say.
Oak aged sour cuvee, so I'm guessing it's going to be like a lambic light, possibly. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It might suck.
We will see how it goes. We'll see how it goes up.
Good one, John.
There you go.
You just said that.
I did.
That's awesome.
Thanks. Beer joke. Beer
Your puns.
puns.
Oh, genius.
Your mom likes Goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
Is that a
Go.
derogatory statement?
That's your mom joke.
That's what your mama, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but she really does.
Your mom likes
It's a
Goes.
pineapple.
Your mama.
What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to doing this with you for the next week
Excellent.
while
Me
we're in
too.
Chicago.
Yes.
I'll be.
Are you going to set the time aside to join me on camera?
Yes.
I love it. Thanks.
He's quick with them.
You don't have a cellar. Yeah, I will lock him up in my cellar. Far enough away to where you won't hear music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
like
just be in there.
It's
When I
gonna
say
have to be
cellar,
in
we mean the
silence.
murder room.
Murder room.
Murder room.
Murder room in Carriage House.
Mhm.
He can lock me up in my cellar and no one ever.
Okay. So now that we've gone over our thoughts and like what we're looking forward to, and Stev, you covered yours, right? You feel good about your thoughts?
I've got
Cuvée.
boom.
What direction, because a lot of us are on the cuvee, what direction next year or what, because we kind of coach them up at the Barrel House. Some people back out $300 tips. It just happens.
Yeah, and he
If
decided
you're
not
broke,
to come today
You're
because
broke,
he
you
was
say
sick.
that.
What direction do we give them next year, do you think? because this is going to probably be the last time that we're all together. So we got a quorum here. There's 5 calendar individuals here. It's the last time that we're probably going to have this big of a number of calendar individuals in the room. Is there any sort of guidance that we give Sarah and the Barrel House for next year? Because this year we said less local.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
think we
That's
just need to ask them to pick out the styles that you guys want and say split it up over that. And because I think that they're only grabbing things that aren't local, and you said nothing that is super common, and that we've had before on that list. So I think if you give them a 2-week heads up that you're coming in, I'm talking to you like we're having a conversation.
You're having a
Sorry.
conversation.
Yep.
Camera's on.
But,
Camera's on.
I think if we give them more of a heads up, that will give them time to kind of.
Magic.
This is a big purchase for them. They have
So they had
things in purchasing, so they could actually order ahead for us things that they would like to carry outside
bad
of
idea.
our actual supply.
Yeah.
I think if we give them enough of a heads up that they could give us 5 New England IPAs and 5 sours and 5 lambics and whatever,
Yeah.
So
Just
so
give them a
we
clear heads
they knew the date that we're going to be there. They had a person to be there to pour the shorties because they knew. So we gave them 6 weeks heads up. We knew in September, like what you were saying, they're like, hey, if you want us to order anything, we need to know a date by September. But they wanted to know like a number. They wanted to know, and I was like, people are gonna come and go. We had somebody that tried to ordered 30 minutes into the calendar. That's Team Kaysen. We had 2 more attempts, 45 minutes and an hour into it, and they ran out of shorties. They ran so the pickle beer. So like we had the Hoosier. I think the Hoosier was a shorty, right? Sville, right?
Hoosier was not a shorty.
No.
Yeah.
It was the
Hoosier was the triple decker.
No,
That was the alcohol flavor.
Okay, so there was it the Veil then? There was one of them that was a shorty. So Kaysen got the pickle beer because we switched out the pickle beer because remember it was in that stack. So it's tough to get people to lock in a number because I feel like as a good Samaritan, if you will, like then I'm guaranteeing. So like I don't want to get stuck with like 3 calendars or whatever. We did 9 this year. We were up from 4 or 5 last year. So we almost doubled.
That's a lot.
I have agreements from at least 4 people because 2 people were upset they didn't get a calendar. So they are boycotting even watching it because they're like, well, we should have got it. But again, on the shorties, we drained the one officially because we gave them a pickle as a placeholder, and I was fine with the pickle. But we didn't have. You couldn't have they had to redo their tap list after we left. There was 3 bottles that we completely drained, and they had to change the tap lines.
Wow.
So it would have changed the calendars for other people. And this year we only had 6 shorties. Last year we had 8. I don't have the list in front of me, but
Next
it was less this year than last year.
You need to have your participation in by November 1st.
Yeah, but he's saying September.
Yeah, September because they offered to
Okay,
order
okay.
stuff like catering was saying.
Right.
All right,
No,
well,
I
let's do
agree.
that then.
I
Let's
don't
do
think
that.
that this is something that, I mean, I think that this is something that we can ask for cash up front for, like a commitment in September.
Oh, like put a deposit in.
Yeah, like, in that way, at least give half
Get
of what we
committed.
think it's gonna be.
Yeah,
And
well-
these are,
Oh.
we're all adults, we're all professionals, we all can find, have the finances for this advent calendar. So we should actually get people to commit to it and have the money up front, or even
Well-
have Barrel House hold it as their, like
Right.
it's paid for.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or that
Nothing's
deposit.
gonna go bad.
we've been
months.
giving Barrel House an exclusive for 2 years, and we're going to continue to do that because they're amazing people and they work well with us.
100%.
Yeah,
They've done a
absolutely.
great job with us.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why we can't have them order stuff in advance for
Yeah.
us without
That's
necessarily
possible.
knowing the exact number because they don't know what that's going to be for their own bar
For their
purposes,
own
right?
overhead, yeah, of course.
So my perspective is this. The last 2 years, I have 2 takes on what you asked for, Matt.
Yep.
Here's what they are. One of
Conversation.
them is when we show up to do the group pick, right? They pick
Yep.
from what they have. right then and there, right now. Wouldn't we rather have them be thinking about us in advance, saying, wow, this great one-off beer has come in May, July, and it's going to go, but
Right.
but we're gonna guarantee them that we're gonna have 24 beers for at least 8-9 people, right? And we're gonna do that so that in advance they can know, hey, this is one of our favorite picks, but we're not gonna have it in November, right? So let's hold it back for let's hold nine of these back for these guys, or 10 of them back for these guys for November, right? Because I feel like what we're getting is what they have right now on tap. That's it, right? Instead of having what their best is over the year. I think this one was the best in May. In June, we had this one, and it was amazing, but it would sold out, right?
Not a bad idea.
Right.
There's a guarantee we're going to do this.
Right. There's a guarantee.
Right.
We know we're going to have at least 10
Best
people do
beers
it.
from January through.
Right. So let's, you know what I mean? So that's one take. The other take is, let's not limit. I like the way it is now, even though, in terms of diversity of styles, right? Let's have them give us a broad diversity of styles. What's the best sour you've had? What's the best stout? What's the best, lager? What's the best ale you've had? Whatever, right? I like that because it gives us an ability to, the Brew Crew podcast and the Chuggalos to experience a wide variety of different beers.
I saw it, Steph.
That's a good thing.
Thanks, guys.
I think
That was slapping
I'll second most of that, but I want 16 of these 24 beers have to be the best you've had for the year. That would be amazing. Pick 4 to 8 to try to fuck us up.
Just like wild cards.
Like honestly, if you had 4 beers that they purposely tried to find the shittiest beer that they had during that year, it would mix it up and it would give us a conversation because. Like we mentioned, there is a dog days of this advent calendar. Like there is like a point where we're like, man, we've had all these fucking European beers like 5 days in a row. I wish you'd throw something in that was a little more uniquely terrible or great.
Yeah.
I need to temporally reasonable here. So I asked Barrel House already, do you have any more Jackie O's Would Yas in stock? And they don't, but they have plenty of other Jackie O's bangers. And I said that we're doing it right now. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. So I don't think I messaged the business, not Sarah specifically. So I just wanted to get their inventory. The tough challenge is we're 9 calendars and they're a much bigger business than that. Like, so I understand the desire that we want your bangers throughout the year, but man, it's tough to keep that stuff in inventory. Like I know we make their day when we came, but I don't want our reach to exceed our grasp in this situation. Like,
sure, yeah.
That's understandable. Maybe narrow it down and maybe just even like 6, just like 6 beers throughout the year beforehand that are just like.
Right. If you
don't even reserve.
Doesn't have to be like a finite number.
Make it on us. Put it on us. Chat us on our Twitter or our Facebook and say this beer is fucking awesome. Get it now.
Right.
And leave it. Make it our responsibility.
Right.
And we'll come pay for it.
Yeah.
And we'll cellar it in one of our 25 cellars.
Yes.
We have a lot of. We obviously have a lot of cellars. Some superior than others. And we'll you know what, we can find amongst us the resources to be able to give them to reserve those for us. We can do that.
I think that's possible.
Wow, I really like that idea. I was
Put
just
it on
gonna
us.
say,
Say like,
and
hey,
that's not there, but I.
we can.
He's got wireless
we can
headphones.
communicate.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still listening. I'm involved.
This could be a good
He's here.
calendar year.
But
And then-
what I'm immediately thinking when you say that is we have those boxes. I know Matt didn't do that box this year from that guy, but if we have a set amount of people, like we know 10 people are going to 100% commit to this, we go put 10 boxes downstairs in the cellar, and as they get those beers, we go, everybody,
We just run over there real quick.
Go,
We all
put it in.
yeah.
and then just go
Yeah.
pop them in each of the boxes on that same day, and then we'll just do that throughout the entire year until we
Yeah.
have it built up
Yeah.
to November,
Yeah,
and then
I love it.
It's all
We just
good to
fill
go.
up the remainder.
BRB.
Yeah.
Right,
we
and
get together.
if you're a latecomer because you can't commit earlier in the year, that's totally fine. That's okay. I get it, right? I've been in that situation. In fact, I was in that situation this year, right? But if you're in that situation and you can't commit, that's totally understandable. But you may or may not get the beer that they said, hey, you guys should run out and get in May, because it's a special thing. It's going to go away. We're not going to have it forever. It's not going to be here in November, etc. You know, we reserved that for the 10 people that said they were going to be in, you know, back in May. But you know,
can have like a second.
Well, we can
second
have
lap.
but we'll have
alternate.
other ones like the
Yeah.
dill pickle,
Yeah.
dill pickle beer, whatever, right? Whatever.
Yeah,
those are.
replacements.
Yeah, right, exactly. But you know, let's face it, Barrel House has done so well by us, and that's
Oh, yeah.
the last 2 years. It's been spur of the minute what we have on hand. So you're not going to get Chuggalos that can't commit earlier. Don't worry, you're not going to get bad beers. You're going to get great beers.
You're always going to get an awesome
You're
beer.
always going to get something great from Barrel House because they have a great variety always on hand. It's just that, you know, what we're looking for is, I think what we're saying, Matt, is we want to step up, right? We want to say throughout the year, as they find the really hot, great beers that come out that are kind of, you know, seasonal one-off things, that we get a shot at them. We get a shot at them for the advocate.
I'm with you guys 100%. Some of these are meant to be drink fresh though. That's great when we have like the high grab stuff. The fresh stuff is going to be tough. Like when the spring stuff starts coming out, it's going to be tough for them to sit on it, even if they put it into a shorty and we run down there and save it, because that's not the brewer's intention. The brewer's intention on the Would Ya Honey today exactly is for it to sit for a little bit. And we elected to do it this way. So
Right.
it's tough because some of these, as you know, Phil, some of these are like 10 years. Some of them are like Stone, and they're like an enjoy buy. And they don't have the advertised. Stone just has the temerity to be like, hey, you need to drink this by this day. Otherwise, it's not our intention, and don't hold that oxidation against us. So like we're at a slippery slope. JT and I, we informed them. That's why they had an extra staff member there, because last year they lambasted us when we only did 5 calendars, because they did 8 shorties. So 8 times 5, that's 40 bottles that they had to pour. That takes away from the other customers that walked in. Yeah. This year we did 9 calendars and 6 bottles. So that's 54. So we stepped it up a little bit, but it took away from that walk-in staff. And the fact that Chuggalo Pete, when he listens to this, he backed out a $300 tip on that lady. Like, he should have just went with it. You know, YOLO, my friend.
YOLO.
Money is made to be spent.
Here's the thing, like, it's only going to grow from here. And
it is. We've showed that.
If you're uncomfortable with the size of the calendar event, let us know, and we'll plan ahead. But we don't want to ditch the provider. We want it to be Barrel House. We that we can go to. Like, we take that day off work. We go in early, and we put this together. This is
we get to 15 next year. I don't see it.
15. I mean, if you're making $200,
I agree, Matt.
Calendar, you're making some money.
I see one person that I brought to the party backing out, but again, I had 2 people that were upset that day that I wouldn't make them a calendar when we're an hour and a half in, and again, they ran out of shorties. Like, your calendar is going to be strategically different than ours. You're going to have the compartmentalized stuff, and they want to do it. But even Sarah said the calendar is going to be different. Like, if this is a conversation, like we can replace one, we can dill pickle one. She didn't even want to, and that's money out of their pocket down there at Barrel House. She didn't want to bastardize the 2 calendars that called in. Like, I showed her my phone. I go, hey, I have another order. And she goes, we could put it together. We ran out of shorties on a couple of these lines.
When you say shorties, you mean beer, right?
Shorties, they're bottle pours. They're 12-ounce bottle pours. They call them shorties.
Not the, like, they've like literally run out of the glass bottles.
No.
They ran out of the keg,
right? They're filling 12-ounce bottles.
They cash kegs.
Ran out. Right.
They kicked the keg. Okay.
So they kicked the keg essentially. So then, so that's part of why we have to give them a heads up, because we're coming in there and they run a business. We tell them, hey, we're coming, so they have extra bottles on, because believe it or not, they get a higher percentage on the shit that they pour off. It's worth them to crimp those bottles for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what JT and I, like when we started this, and Cobra too, we're like, hey, we're gonna be local and we're just gonna branch out. And that's, we're going to a local business and throwing all of this business at.
I think it would be cool.
And they show us nothing but love. Like, it's mutual.
I don't know if you guys like could get together for an episode with the people at Barrel House, like June or July, even just
I
to
like
like
that.
pick their brains about it.
This is the idea.
Like
Yeah.
pregame
Talk beer
party.
business. We're not just drink beer. We're also the business of beer. We talked to Jason at Crooked Handle about the business of beer. It's worth it. Maybe
It's
Barrel
crazy.
House wants to be on mic.
I feel like they
And
would
just
be.
and I
Gus
think
and-
I think the question for them is, hey, what have you tried? What have you been pouring that is just phenomenal?
Just
That's
been
an
like
unexpected
gangbusters,
surprise. Yeah. And it's March, it's April, it's May, whatever it is. I like that. I mean, I can think of 4 people right now that I can call and have them join the Advent calendar next
Oh
year.
shit! Yeah. So there's 4 more right there.
Right, but
And I really
we all
need
have
Randy
we all
Orton.
have
I need
friends.
Randy Orton in this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
Oh,
why
yeah.
he didn't do it,
I
but
know
he
he
needs to be in it.
Randy Orton, that'd be awesome having him in here.
I don't think he'll do videos.
He's a
though.
guy.
Randy Orton, like a wrestler.
I think he's
A real wrestler, not Randy
It-
Orton, the guy. Matt
Is he?
Hyde.
Two Randy Orton situations here. One, the fact that real Randy Orton, his career might be over, is scary.
Yeah.
We're gonna lose one of the best wrestlers of all time. Two, if Randy Orton joins, oof. Our Randy Orton, JT's Randy Orton, my Randy Orton.
What oof? How is that oof?
What
How
oof?
should that oof be interpreted?
On which Randy Orton?
Our Randy Orton.
Do you think he commits? Do you think
I
he
tried
commits
get
to
him
it?
here today. What?
You tried to get him here today, but he didn't come.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll do videos. So maybe my comment on getting him in is
That's okay. I've got 2 guys that won't do videos, and they bought
I
calendars.
feel like he's got opinions. But we also have Pete and we got Bill.
That's
who
what-
are doing videos.
That's what I'm saying. I brought 2 guys that don't do videos, and that's fine. The only thing I ever ask for is conversation. So Pete's let me know a couple of thoughts here. Hey, you guys, I want you guys to. Here's Pete's thoughts on this beer. Awesome, thanks, Pete. And then Bill last told me he's a couple days behind, but like Chuggalo Mikey and Chuggalo Ryan are making great content. It's not about content, it's about conversation.
Talk conversation.
Yeah.
It's
they're
not
making-
content, folks. I just want, and it's the third C. It's about being a Chuggalo and just having a conversation with all of us. That's all it is. We're not going to broadcast it. Kaysen, I met them 8 days before I put this calendar together, and they're like, we're in. And I drove their calendar to Wisconsin.
Wow.
8 days. And
8 days.
that's the spontaneity of this.
I have people that I work with that I'm sure would do this
Yeah.
also.
She's got people.
This is
Catering's
gonna-
got people.
This is gonna be huge. Let's just be honest. This is the
We
next
We
step.
doubled.
It's gonna
We
grow.
doubled.
We could get Mel and Dave.
I
together,
think
we
so.
could get Trevor. and Mike
Let's do
together,
it. Let's shoot for that. Let's shoot for 20 people.
drink beer.
I think it's
Okay.
doable.
I think it's probably
Again, just
And couples can share.
I think that's
Just-
yeah.
We had planned to share all the way through.
the growth is predicated on conversation. Look, there's 5 of us together, 5 calendar holders. Like, this is over half of the calendar holders conversation. Just the 2 people back in, the couple of people back in Wisconsin or whatever, they had prior obligations. This is what we're here for. It's just the conversation. It's fun to talk about beer. That's all this. That's why this started in 2018, and that's why it's continuing to go in 2022.
Yeah, and it will continue in 2023, and the Carriage House will be open to anyone who wants to share video thoughts. The YouTube channel obviously is open for anyone.
Cool.
We lost a sub. Let's talk about YouTube. Who did we lose?
Lose 1 sub. We were at 79. Whoops, we were almost at
We
80,
lost one.
but we're not anymore.
Yes, Carriage House is heated now. You don't have to wear
Carriage
sweaters and
House is
carpet.
heated.
We can all sit out.
Who's that sub we lost? Do you know, Matt?
I wish I did. I would. You know me. I'd make a freaking meme and put him on blast and
Put him on blast.
say what could we do more?
Yeah,
Why
what
do
did
you
you
lose
you
once,
you
Trevor?
subbed and then you were like, nah, not for me.
It was the
No.
verified Randy Orton.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, doxed.
That was
12%.
close.
Someone's been doxed.
Hey,
Sorry.
you guys, no. That's fine. It's okay to say that. You guys, this is what you're missing out when you guys don't subscribe to the advent calendar. Look at these, like day 16, baby, Belgian lambic, and look at those outfits. God, who would wear who would wear such things?
Who would
But
wear
that's the content that you guys get. You're missing out. It's like they wore it multiple days in a row. It's crazy.
But we didn't. That's
Crazy talk.
I'll say this. That was
Crazy talk.
Watch the video.
Crazy talk.
There are 3 episodes
We're
of
not
me in the same
recording. We're not recording ahead of time.
My wife.
But even if you are, you're still
But we're
getting it
not.
done, and you're
It's
still.
not- yeah,
I
you're
know,
still doing
but
it.
you're not. But I mean, you're still doing the
You
recording.
know,
and you're
I've
still
always
writing,
been
you're
a
still
I've always
getting
been a
it.
huge.
I don't know what that violin is. I'm not crying. You're crying. You're crying.
You're
about-
crying.
Look, if
Commitment.
same clothes, that's fine.
Fourth C, commitment.
By the way, my wife complains that I don't turn over my clothes more often, but I'm a great believer in recycling. So
Oh,
Are you?
all about sustainability. Jackie O's is all about sustainability.
Okay, again, here's the question here's the question I primed everyone with, and I'm glad that you guys took an ample amount of time. Is hazy overused? Please go. Hazy is 2022's 2019 juicy,
No way. No way.
and I will fight somebody.
It's
Well,
a
Juicy was
descriptor, a
overused.
visual.
Juicy was
nah,
overused.
it's overused.
No.
Hazy?
Hazy.
The term
Well,
hazy.
By the way, lambics have been hazy for the last 800 years. Nobody called it hazy lambic.
Well, they should have.
Hazy.
You know,
lambic.
If
You
you're
know,
worried about what
Belgian
they're out
Belgian
there,
ales have been hazy for about 600 years. Nobody's called them
Well,
hazy.
Hazies are
What you getting ready for, man?
descriptor.
I'm just being Stev.
He's got his Limp Bizkit
Oh,
going on.
Gotta skedaddle.
You gotta go?
I gotta skedaddle,
All right.
unfortunately. That doesn't mean you guys have to stop, but I've got.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Stev.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You got
You
a
don't
full
have to
moon
stop.
going on over there?
Yeah,
Huh? Hell yeah.
just.
And he's got
just-
some
just-
kind of
just
biscuit
do my
going on.
Stev.
Limp biscuit.
I had to put my cuffs on, man.
Limp biscuit.
I'm putting my cuffs on.
I like Limp Bizkit.
Hot take, yeah.
Hot
You got
take.
down
They
with the
never,
LP?
they never sucked.
Huh?
It was just sentiment that
Yeah.
got sour.
They just kind of just
It's just
thought
people
they
were
weird.
like, oh, fuck them. But I like Limp Bizkit.
Flavored
Also,
I
water.
saw that.
Tell,
I saw it.
tell Chuggalos, Stev's wife, that we said hi.
Steph,
Can I
I thought Stev was taking 3 roadies.
Brew.
I thought those were roadies. He's like,
Kate,
peace out, Stev out.
Kate
See the
Leonard.
Kate,
Kate Lander.
Kate,
Still,
Kate.
love you. All
Love
of
you
you.
too.
I'm gonna have to change that meme.
Merry Christmas, dude.
What's the meme?
Tell your dad.
Which
I'd
meme?
have-
Lots of memes have been shared.
Oh yeah, no, it's probably my favorite one so far.
Good holidays, Steph.
I know you're not a hugger.
I won't. Well, I'll pass the cord. I'll hug. I
We
can
can
hug. Matt hugs.
See,
That's a
you're
hugger.
gonna end up-
Spill moves to Ohio. Spill loves Steph. Spill and Steph hug.
Yeah,
I wish it was. I wish
still,
it,
Bill instead hug. That's the shocker.
Did he tell you I got that music?
Like it. Oh, nice. Nice. That kind of does look like me.
Oh, I got the
That kind of looked like me after Decadence.
30th.
great content. Private conversations on the side.
Don't worry, I got it. I'm hosting.
Yeah, so I got the email the day after my surgery.
Get it though. It's not about content. It's about conversation.
It's insane. So
That's the 5th C.
very looking forward.
Yes.
I bet you are. Let's go do a whole. Like, huge openings there.
Great holidays. Have a great holidays.
Huge opening.
You'll be a gummy, man.
Huge openings, guys. That's what we're all about.
Big,
Boop, 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 boop.
So put the
That-
put
that-
Maggie there. She can fill.
No,
the
there's
role.
no replacing that seat. It doesn't get
Put the
filled.
put the puppy down, baby.
That's the Steb seat. It does not get filled.
It gets
We'll see you next year, buddy. Next year, 2023.
2023.
Merry Christmas.
Peace,
Well-
love, and applesauce.
On
Have
Steph.
fun, be safe, make friends, drive recklessly, take chances.
Oh,
Take chances.
Yeah, on Steph's exit, I need to at least.
Take
I'm
risks.
gonna follow up on what Matt said. For the new year,
Yep.
Matt, you might have opportunities to take chances, but I would prefer that you did not. That you did everything as standard and expected as possible, and use the new year to just get the experience that you need and come back.
we did what
I don't know. Phil is messing with the microphone, so I'm sure it was just a bunch of finger noises, and all of my sentiments towards Matt were just lost to the static. But
I'm listening.
I have
No,
a list
loud.
of-
Lima Charlie.
and Phil's muted the microphone in his.
No, I
It's
didn't mute
fuckery.
it. I didn't mute it. It was muted. I just saw it when I tilted it back up. Hopefully that.
You muted it. It's okay.
Until I started.
311 encapsulated what we do best, JT, and it's called a beautiful disaster. It's
Beautiful disaster. I agree.
it's fantastic, and sometimes it degrades a little bit, but there's beauty in the destruction. You know what I'm saying?
If there's any degradation recently, as I look through the list of days that you have described as not available, it's it hits me in the feels, as they say. I'm like, man, it's gonna be weird. But I'll cover down. We're gonna get Phil, we're gonna get Stab, we're gonna get
Dave.
some Dave, we're gonna get Dave, homebrewer Dave, and some other people, and we're gonna cover those dates.
Randy Orton.
No, he won't do it.
We're in the season of being grateful and thankful, and that's all that we've been since day one. You know, it just.
I'm just
Thank you for, taking time. Even if you just click through us, if you copy JT's and my burps, that's,
Yeah.
We put the fun back in FUN.
My burps aren't sexy, but if you copy Matt's burps, just
They're not.
content-
I've never been known as a burper.
any content that you're consuming of ours, we appreciate it.
Yep.
2023 is going to be excellent, and obviously a growing year.
Yes.
Maybe that 79th sub will come back. And that's it. I mean, I think this is excellent.
Are we at all thinking that perhaps last year we talked about it, but we didn't actually make it happen? But is there
Mid-year?
mid-year exactly?
I knew that's where you were going with.
Yeah, you knew it. Because it's a great format, and everybody loves to participate.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
I would love to do it, and like JT and I, we would approach it. And as you guys know, the Chuggalos, if you're listening right now, the amount of pre-production we put into it is very limited just because of our other things, and we just kept kicking the can. But just know the effort that we put into this, and like the drink-alongs, and like it's high. So when we do it, we want to commit. And I know we were talking about how we're going to make this better. But like if you come to the Barrel House, like this year it was November 11th, like everyone had a hoot. There was 2 people that left completely destroyed, that were 15 minutes later. Thank goodness they got home, because the pictures I got from both of them.
Everyone,
But I think we had so much enthusiasm after last year. It's like, but does it dilute it? Does it make it more special? I would like to do it, but I don't know if we could have the same amount of enthusiasm that we do behind this one. I don't know.
I think we could find another, if you have an idea, I think we could find another summertime event that's not an advent calendar.
It should be a bottle share. I would like to do a bottle share.
Bottle
I
share
think
would be really, really interesting. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, like to open up, and I don't want to throw you guys, but like do the carriage house. I know you've been working on your patio or something like that, but do a bottle share, like bring a significant amount or something significant amount, like what it means to you or what you think about it, not price or whatever, because money is whatever. But
everybody brings something and we all drink it.
Yeah. Do our own, since AleFest is kind of dead. There's negotiations going on. It's labored, and I could spend a lot of time not having a couple of beers in me
Going to make the
explaining AleFest, but we could do our own type of thing, like as a summer hallmark.
Going to make the AleFest conversations, unless they really amp it up, the AleFest conversations are going to be killed by Yellow Cab, because they're their own.
I think we should do our own ale fest. And
Exactly.
That's part of the talk. That's part of the talks.
I
Yeah.
love that idea.
But that's
I
what
think
I
that's a
mean,
great idea.
take the driveway and set up little tables, and everybody get your little glass and go around and.
Come on, if we had 10 to 15 people that were bringing different
That is
beers,
so
and even
fun.
multiples, right?
And Phil, you're right in the wheelhouse. Like, don't make it too big. Like everyone, everyone's pot invested at that point. You're just doing it for the conversation. Everyone is involved and can talk about it. So there's bigger ale fest, you know, domain type stuff. Those conversations are still ongoing, but like for like us, like, you know, to make it our event, to make it a BCP event, you know.
Yeah. I like it.
I concur.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're a Chuggalo and you're watching, thank you for watching all of these advent calendar days. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being a consumer all year round, specifically because of the time of year. Happy holidays. Thank you for taking your precious December time that most people spend looking at Christmas lights and watching Christmas movies with their family and watching a couple stupid idiots talk about beer. I mean, I speak for myself, and Matt's not, you know, a stupid idiot.
No, you said idiots, plural. I apply.
Yeah, me too.
And I just think it's an exceptional gesture that you would spend time watching our podcast, the little podcast that could. So.
Well, and thank you to Matt, and
There it is.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Thanks to Matt and JT for putting this all on.
Yeah, thanks for participating.
Phil.
Matt, final words?
My meme says it all.
Beam says it all. Thanks for joining us. This is the Brew Crew podcast. This is only day 17. We got plenty of days. But thanks for watching. Thanks for joining.
7 days left.
Boom.
7. Boom.
Merry holidays.
Bye.